And with me now to look closer at the marches today is RT's Ivor Crotty. Hi, Ivor. Hello. So why there's so much tension around today's marches?
Well, today's march in particular, the march in Belfast, was being seen as a flashpoint or a potential flashpoint because the loyalist community has felt particularly aggrieved by a couple of things that have happened this year. One was the restrictions placed on flying the Union Jack over Belfast City Hall. That sparked riots that we reported on earlier on in the year. And secondly, a parades commission which decides which roads the Orange Order is allowed march down and which it's not, was seen to have placed a reasonably restrictive order on the Orange Order about this morning's march, and people expected there to be a lot of tension. Now, the good news is that the march has passed off reasonably peacefully, although I have to say Northern Irish society is a very unusual place in which to operate. It's a place where a veneer of peace has been placed upon the society, and it's very, very hard to tell what's beneath the surface and what might happen later on today.
So, can you explain to us what the Orange Order is? Who are those people?
Right, the Orange, yeah, okay, Orange Order 101, we might call it. The Orange Order is a society that, a Protestant society for Protestants that celebrates Protestantism, particularly. It was founded in the 19th century in Northern Ireland. Is an integral part of some elements of the British Empire. It celebrates, the marches that we're seeing right now celebrate victory of King Willem von Oranje, the William of Orange, over King James in 1690. So there's an enormous history lesson there. However, what's more interesting is that if you look at the Orange Order, in particular in the last 40 years, during what they call the Troubles in Northern Ireland, since perhaps 1969, 1970, the Orange Order became integral to what many saw during the 70s and 80s in Northern Ireland as an apartheid state, a state in which Catholics were systematically discriminated against by a Protestant majority and a Protestant elite. They had very close connections to the security forces. We're now seeing, for example, David Cameron has been part of an inquiry which is or has headed an element of an inquiry which has exposed Orange Order links to the RUC, the Royal Ulster Constabulary, and the old police force, which worked with loyalist paramilitaries in the 70s and 80s to murder Catholics. So the order itself is a very, very controversial part of post-peace process, well, it's of peace process Northern Irish society. And I think its controversial nature derives from that element, that people see it as part of an elitist society that discriminated against Catholics, and that explains why we're seeing so much tension around the marches today.
So what can we expect from today's protests? How
hard to say.
To pan out?
Yeah, very hard to say. I think in my opinion, it's good news that the march passed off reasonably peacefully today. Had that gone off, I think that would have set a precedent, and we could have seen violence spreading across the province of Northern Ireland throughout the day. However, there's two elements that need to be considered here. One is the sunshine. It's unbearably hot in Northern Ireland. The Irish don't like the heat terribly much. It's about 30 degrees there today. It's roasting. And there's going to be quite a lot of alcohol consumed during the day. It's expected that despite the festivities that will take place during the day, and hopefully there'll be no more violence at the marches, it is expected that street clashes may take place later on in the evening when some elements of the communities get boozed up and get out onto what the so-called peace lines.
All right, we shall wait and see then. Ivor, many thanks indeed for explaining to us. Thank you.